Hey everybody, it is day 4, the final day here at the AI for Good Summit in Geneva, and we have met a lot of really cool people along the way this week. One of them is Natalie Choprasert. She's an AI educator, content creator. You have amassed a huge following across social channels, of course, TikTok being a big one. Why don't you first just tell us a little bit about your mission and your work?
Yeah, so what I do is I love teaching businesses and companies how to use AI in their businesses and work. So I do a lot of research, I try a lot of tools on the market, and then I find out what's the best way that businesses can practically use this in their business and implement it without all the technical jargon. So I make it very simple for them to understand, because businesses or business owners don't have a lot of time to learn all these tools, be super technical. So I help to bridge that gap. And so I have a company called Future AI Lab that has programs and courses to teach them how to implement it very quickly. And I also work with over 70 top tech brands and AI brands on how to use their products more easily, like Google, Microsoft, Zapier, HubSpot.
And I'm sure you're getting a lot of questions from people. So just give me a sense of what, the most common questions from both your followers, but also the businesses that you work with about AI.
Yeah, so typically it's like a lot of overwhelm with the amount of new tools and new AI releases every single week, it seems, with DeepSeek and all those things, like just bombarding people's feeds. And a lot of the time it's like, which are the best tools to use for my business? Because last week it was this tool, this week it's another tool, and they're just very confused. And so I like to say to them, don't look at all the tools. The tools shouldn't be like you fitting into that tool for use in your business. It should work for you. So you look at what your processes are, and then you find tools to fit your processes, not the other way around. And so I like to simplify a lot of the things. So like, if you had to choose one tool to use, that would be a great start, as opposed to trying to learn 10 or 20 different tools and trying to keep up with all that stuff, because then you kind of get nothing done.
Right.
So yeah, like if you want to choose one go-to tool like ChatGPT, that's already like, you're already ahead of a lot of people. And then from there, you can always build up from there once you sort of understand, a bit more about AI. So.
And you help them figure out, based on their business needs, what the right tool for them would be, which is, of course, I'm sure exactly what they're looking for, those kinds of answers. You and I had the opportunity yesterday to do a panel conversation together. This was changing gears a little bit, but it was fascinating to talk about AI's impact on media. And the first question that I wanted to know from you is, look, there's this proliferation of what they call slop online, right? I read 700% increase year over year, which makes sense because so many more people are using AI tools now. But, look, the internet that we've known and loved for decades always had clickbait and always had made for advertising sites that were kind of garbage, but they were annoying, not dangerous. How do you view the AI moment right now?
Yeah, that's a good question, because, like you said, clickbait and all the fake news has always been around. It's just right now it's happening at a faster rate, at scale. So instead of just doing one fake ad or one fake piece of media, you can create thousands of variations of that and push that out straight away. You can create bots and agents that can replicate all of this in real time to proliferate across everything. So I think that's the main difference, like being able to do it faster, at scale, and looking more realistic. And it's just, I guess, a matter of potentially educating the market more on what's possible or what's happening right now, which is what I do on my social media, which is showcase like, hey, like, there's AI scams happening where, this could potentially happen in the workplace, where you could authorize a transaction because you saw your CEO on a video conference.
CEO
live.
Scams, this is a real thing.
Yeah. And it's just, you never, like, people that go through these scams, like, they never think that it would happen to them, because it's always like, what are the chances? But it's happening a lot more now. Yeah.
So as a content creator, the flip side of that is, so many people, traditional media and, influencer and social media people, creators, are using AI tools all the time. How do you do that effectively and efficiently while still keeping the trust of your audience?
Yeah, so I think that at the end of the day, like, the audiences don't mind too much that you're using AI. I think that if you have great taste and creativity, you can still use these AI tools to still gain virality and a lot of views. It's just a matter of telling them that it's AI generated because they don't want to sort of feel misled. So I think that, tools, social media platforms like TikTok are, implementing CP2A, CPPA, where it's tagged as AI generated so that the viewers know, okay, I'm looking at a AI generated piece. So it makes them like sort of, understand more that this is not necessarily real, but potentially for entertainment purposes,
Now, if you were advising a media company, GZERO, for example,
Yeah.
what would you say about how a company that's doing news and analysis should approach their use of AI?
Yeah, I think, again, like letting them know that it is AI generated. But at the end of the day, if you're still producing really good content, I don't think people care too much. Like for me personally, I've watched a lot of AI content, and there is, like, from a scale of very good, sophisticated use and well thought storytelling, I would watch that over a human generated content. But then you've got the other AI slop where there wasn't much thought to it. But that's at the end of the day the same thing, even if it was human generated. If you didn't put much effort into it, you creating stuff that other people are creating, no one's going to watch that either way. So it's just a matter of letting people know that it's AI generated.
So finally, obviously by its nature, this is called the AI for Good Summit. There's a bit of techno-optimism here.
Yes.
There are other people out there that see a lot of potential peril.
Yeah.
I would say, where are you on the bullish to bearish in terms of AI's role in society right now?
I'm very bullish. I love tech and AI, and the more I learn about it and see what's new in development, I'm getting more excited because there's so many opportunities that, I could have never dreamed of as a solopreneur, because using AI can leverage and extend my capabilities even further. And I think that that's what a lot of other solopreneurs and business owners or even creators weren't able to do previously, but now it's possible with AI, and it's only going to get better from here. So yeah, super excited.
Natalie Choprasert, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you, Tony. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.